we show the world that we are serious, that we are taking the leadership, that we have a pathway towards climate neutrality, and also that we increase our own reductions in front of 2030. And we are doing this in front of Glasgow, and thereby also encouraging others to take action.
Well, the emphasis, of course, is on working together. Common understanding of the negotiation substance needs to be acknowledged and accepted. Politics really needs to work very close with the expert level to deliver the outcome.
And making sure no one is left behind. So through re-engaging with observers and non-observers is the most critical prospect. And most critical of course, is the climate finance, how the countries are going to build up the $100 billion mobilization climate fund.
I think that we've come so far from Paris in terms of the materials that are available, the technology that can be put to use, its cost, public feeling, motivation. It's been a huge advance and progress since 2015. Non-industrialized countries who need to industrialize and should industrialize, but need to do so in a way that does not produce the high levels of carbon emissions that were produced in the West, and the fact they can only do that with plenty of money, is exacerbated and made even more strained, that relationship with the rest of us who are industrialized.
There has been a fundamental shift in the belief in technologies across the whole gamut of the energy sector, as was mentioned in terms of finance. This is a deal breaker, and we haven't been making progress. We know that the commitments are below the 100 billion. That is not only symbolic, but is absolutely fundamental, and in some ways is more important now because of the pandemic. There is a need to build back better. Most of the green stimulus packages are in the OECD countries.
Now, around Paris, we really didn't have this recognition of how significant climate risk was for financial risk and for economic and macroeconomic risk. And I think that's really been evolving, not just through the actions by investors, but also actually through the pandemic and just a reevaluation of resilience.
We have different opportunities. The stars are right again, like in Paris. So let's use that.
We need to focus also on the gaps that needs to be filled, namely the finance gap for least developed.
I hope COP26 delivers what is promised, and also to see our leaders stay up to their promises.
An extra mile needs to be done in order to demonstrate that this is inclusive, that all voices are heard. And that's not just from all of the different countries, but all of the different stakeholders.
I think to have an outcome that is actually good and accelerating and credible and also delivers for those most vulnerable requires the EU to also take a sense of ownership and a sense of leadership in rebuilding those high ambition coalitions with vulnerable partners.
Never forget why we are trying to do this. We look around us in the world and we see great misery, worse droughts, storms, consequences of land change, miserable communities, immigration turning up in Europe and in the UK, huge problems as a result of this, which is the urgency that we need to do it.